Hello friends, welcome to spoken tutorial on 8051 counter programming. We can also consider this spoken tutorial as 8051 timer programming part 3. After completion of this tutorial, you will be able to describe the various operating modes of 8051 timers, program the 8051 counters as event counter. These are the specific learning outcomes of this tutorial. So, counter. These timers can also be used as a counter, means counting external events happening outside the 8051. When the timer is used as a counter, it is a pulse outside of the 8051 that increments the THTL register. Do you remember the example I have already given in my past tutorial? The optocoupler placed in a door of classroom. It will count the number of persons or students entering in the classroom. When C slash T is equal to 1 means we will use that 8051 as a counter. The status of C slash T will be equal to 0, then 8051 timer will be used as a timer. The counter counts up as pulses are fed from T0 and T1. Remember friends, pin number 14 and 15 of 8051 IC. Pin number 14 is for port 3's fourth pin, pin number 15 is port 3's fifth pin. The alternate function of these pins are timer 0 input and timer 1 input respectively. So this is a table of port 3 pin used for timer 0 and timer 1. Look at the table. Pin number 14 P3.4. The function of this pin is for timer 0, timer counter 0, external input. Pin number 15 is similarly port pin P3.5. The function of this pin is timer 1, means timer or counter 1 as external input. This is the diagram of TMOD register. The lower 4 bit is for timer 0 and upper 4 bit is for timer 1, which are identical to each other. I just recapped the previous tutorial. M0 and M1 bits are used for mode selection. C slash T bar is used for application as a timer or counter. In this case, if we want to use the timer of 8051 working as a counter, for that we should place C slash T bar must be equal to 1, and the gate, you know the application of this bit. If it is 0 means the timer or counter controlled by software. If it is 1, then timer or counter will be controlled by the means of hardware, means externally. Counter in mode 1. In mode 1, counter will also treat as a 16-bit counter, means the pulses, external pulses count by the 8051 controller will be stored in TL0 and TL0, both the register. Both registers are of 8 bits. That's why total of this both register is a 16 bit. So we can say that in mode 1 counter will be act as a 16-bit counter. TL0 is incremented when TR0 is set. Friends, TR0 bit, remember TR0 bit is placed in a timer control register, TCON register. If TR0 bit is set, then only an external pulses will be counted by the 8051 counter. And external pulses which will occur in T0 pin, when the counter TH0 or TL0 reaches its maximum of FFH value, it rolls over to 0000. and then TF0 is raised. Remember TF0 flag, it is an indication of timer overflow flag. When counter rolls over, then TF0 flag will be raised. Programmers should monitor the status of TF0 continuously and stop the counter 0. Programmers can set the initial value of TH0 TL0 and let TF0 is equal to 1 as an indicator to show a special condition. For example, we want to indicate microcontroller that 100 people have come in a classroom. For that, we have to set the initial value of TH0 and TL0 so that timer will roll over to 000H after it is incremented by 100, and then TF0 flag will be raised, which will be the indication that 100 people have been entered in a classroom. So this is a figure here, timer 0 with external input means in mode 1 how counter works. Look at the AND gate where one input bit is TR0, another one is timer 0 external input, which will be available in pin number 3.4, which pulses we have to count. These pulses we have to count. The count of these pulses will be loaded in the register TH0 and TL0. Whenever this count goes to FFF to 000 means counter rolls over, then TF0 flag will be raised. Similarly, with the case of timer 1 in mode 1, here only the pin has been changed. Pin 3.5 is used for external event counter. These pulses have to be counted, and the count of these pulses is loaded in this register TH1 and TL1. And similarly, whenever counter overflows to FFF to 000, then TF1 flag will be raised. Counter in mode 2. In mode 2, counter will be act as a 8-bit counter. It allows only values of 00 to FFH to be loaded in TH0. It is a auto reloading mode. TL0 is incremented if TR0 is equal to 1 and external pulses occur. Look at the logic diagram of the timer 0 with external input in mode 2, means counter 0 with external input in mode 2. See that these are the pulses on pin number 3.4. TR0 should be 1 and the pulses count is available in TL0 and TH0. This will be auto reload mode. This will be auto reload when TL0 is incremented if TR0 is equal to 1 and external pulses occur. When timer overflow or counter overflow, when incremented to FF to 00, then TF0 flag will be raised. This is the diagram for timer 1. Similar diagram, only pin number is changed. Input pin number is 3.5 here. This is the example for counter. Assuming that clock pulses are fed into pin timer 1, write a program for counter 1 in mode 2 to count the pulses and display the state of the TL1 count on port 2, which connects to 8 LEDs. So we have to write a program assuming that the clock pulses means the event which we have to count will input in the pin T1, which will be our pin 3.5. So we have to write a program for counter 1 in mode 2. So counter 1 should be configured in mode 2 to count the pulses, and the number of counts should be displayed state of the TL1 on port 2. Port 2 here is connected to 8 LEDs. So let's start to write the program. First, we have to configure the timer mode register tmod. So move tmod comma hash 0110000b. It will be configured tmod register in counter 1 operating mode 2. After that, we have to clear th1. So we move th1 comma hash 0. We should always clear this register th1 whenever we use it as a counter, because all the counts of external pulses will be loaded in this register. So we have to clear this register. Now set B P3.5. Remember friends, after resetting a microcontroller, all the ports will be act as an output port. For making it as an input port, we have to set that particular port or that particular pin. For that, here we have to get input in a P3.5 pin. For getting the input, we should make it as an input port. For that, we should place 1 on that pin. For that, we use this instruction set B P3.5 to make T1 as an input port. Now, next instruction is set B TR1. TR1 is our switch to on or off the counter timer run bit for timer 1 for starting the counter. Set B TR1. Then move A comma TL1. The status of TL1 sent to accumulator. For that, we are using this instruction move A comma TL1. The next instruction is move P2 comma A. Then the content of A is sent to port 2, where our 8 LEDs are connected to port 2. We have to send the status of TL1 to port 2. For that, we are using these two instructions, move A comma TL1 and move P2 comma A. Then JNB TF1 comma back. This is the loop to monitor continuously status of TF1 flag. This flag is 0. Whenever counter overflows, then TF1 will be set and the loop broken, and next instruction will be executed, which is the clear TR1 means stop the counter, clear TF1 means make TF is equal to 0, and as jump again, here is the again label, means keep doing this process again and again. So this is the program. We use here timer 1 as an event counter, where it counts up as the clock pulses are fed into pin P3.5. See this diagram. Here is the input available in P3.5, and on pin port 2 LEDs are connected. The status of TL1 register will be sent to port 2. Notice in the above program the role of the instruction set B P3.5, which we have already discussed. It is used to make this pin as an input pin. What happens when gate bit is equal to 1 in TMOD register? We have all discussed so far has assumed that gate is equal to 0. The timer is started with instruction set B TR0 and set B TR1 for timer 0 and 1 respectively if gate is equal to 0. But when gate is equal to 1, we can use hardware to control the start and stop the timer. INT 0 and INT 0, which is pin number 12, and INT 1 is pin number 13, will be used to start and stop the timer 0 and timer 1. This allows use to start or stop the timer externally at any time via a simple switch. Means if we connect a simple switch to pin P3.2, which is a INT 0 pin, by putting on or off that switch, we will be able to start and stop the timer 0. Similarly, in case of timer 1. This is the example for gate is equal to 1. The 8051 is used in a product to sound an alarm every second using timer 0. Timer 0 is turned on by the software method of using the setB TR0 instruction and is beyond the control of user of that product. However, a switch is connected to pin P3.5 can be used to turn on and off the timer, thereby shutting down the alarm. This is the figure when gate is equal to 1. Look at here. This is the INT 0 pin. This is the gate. So this is the logical diagram of counter or timer when gate is equal to 1. This is for logic. This is a logical diagram for timer or counter 1 when gate is equal to 1. Now, timer or counter in mode 3, as we have already discussed, in mode 3 timer or counter will act as a split timer or split counter. For timer, it is act as a split timer, means the 16-bit timer is splitted into two 8-bit timers. So timer or counter 0 will act as a timer of two 8-bit timers, and whenever it is work as a counter, it is act as a 8-bit counter only. But this is not applicable in case of timer or counter 1. Only in mode 3 we are able to use timer or counter 0. Let us summarize. Now you are able to describe various operating modes of timer or counter. Now you are able to program 8051 counter to count events, external events. Thank you. If you have any query or comments, please write on comment box. Thank you. Thank you very much. Keep learning. It never ends.